Hey everyone, welcome back to Game Finder. My name is Dave, and today we are looking at Mariposas. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a review copy sent to me by AEG, and the designer for this game that is up at bat is Elizabeth Hargrave. Now, she knocked it out of the park with Wingspan when she did that, and had a lot of theme into it. So I could tell that she had a vast knowledge and interest in birds. I like birds, but I actually learned stuff through playing that game. It's very fascinating, and I love Wingspan. Well, now there is a little sight into the butterfly world with this game. Now, when it comes to butterflies, I'm interested in them, and I think it's a really good theme as well. The one thing, though, that's special to me is I live near a museum called the Union Terminal, and it has this really cool theater that's a dome, and plays like documentaries. Every once in a while they'll play something cool like Jurassic Park, but I used to watch them all the time, and I go there just for that reason. Elephants were cool, but one of the showings was about monarch butterflies, and it was captivating. So I like butterflies, and knowing that little bit, because it was a documentary about an hour and a half long, showing their migration, how their little camps set up for them so they can travel, because they're becoming fewer and fewer of these, but people were trying to preserve them, but they have a long journey, and there were just so many of them. I didn't think there were so many of them during this travel, and when they get to their destination, you can just see them. They're like leaves on the trees. The butterflies just cover them. It's beautiful. So going into this game, I had some high hopes. A great designer, a pretty cool theme, and AEG with the production. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me go ahead and show you the production in the box, show you a brief description on how to play, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. And as Miko ruins my perfectly displayed butterflies, you have these awesome wooden butterflies. The fours have double sides on them, which is really cool, but they have beautiful color spread here. They picked nice blues and good yellows and greens, and I do have an expansion promo right here that gives me purple butterflies. I love green and purple, so I'm very happy to have those. Now, the card stock is brilliant. The linen finish is ever so present, and it's a nice feeling card. You have giant cards, you have fun size cards. I'm not a huge fan of that, but they are linen finish, which is okay. All the cardboard is thick linen finish and very nicely done. The production of this game is phenomenal. Not only do you get all this awesome stuff, you get containers to hold them in, and they have butterflies on them, but basically you're going to be holding all the cardboard like flowers individually, because you're going to be grabbing them a lot during the game, so they want to have them separated. You have a die right here, light die, but works well, and then you have the player boards up, well, more of the board for the game, what you're going to be collecting. I will say the biggest complaint that I would have, and you're going to see the board a little bit more of the board here in a second, I would say the board looks a little, I don't want to say messy, maybe busy, but it does its job, and that's why it's set up the way that it is. But that would be my only complaint with the production, though it is a very minor complaint. I love the production of this game. Now let me tell you how to play it. Okay, so this is the game setup. I'm not going to be going over every rule, but I'll go over the majority of them. Everyone will start with a level 1 butterfly, and you'll be working your way up to level 2, level 3, and level 4 that has 2 if you're able to afford them. Now, you're flying up this board, and you may even come back around to the end here, but you're doing that to get points. You get points by getting these cards up here, and those will be gathered by landing on spaces right here, and you'll get the color coordinated card, and they're worth 1 point each. They also have a special if you get all 4 of each color, so 3 extra points and so forth and so on. You can even take extra turns. So you're using these cards that you have in your hand to move, and when you play a card out of the 2 that you have, you will execute the move. You can move this butterfly 3 times, or if you have multiple butterflies, you can move them like one butterfly there and then move this butterfly here, stuff like that. But when you land on a spot, you will get the corresponding flower, and that is important because you're going to have to be spending them to get more butterflies. Some of the spaces do have 2 flowers, but again, it's important to recognize because this card right here is 3 different resources. But something like this is a bonus card that you can get. Your 2 butterflies will move 3 spaces forward and 2 spaces forward. So there are some that move really far and do different things, like you can get tiles that are next to you instead of the ones you land on. But you're trying to collect these flowers in order to make more butterflies. But the way that you do that is by landing on a space that's adjacent to one of these little cocoon things right here. This is where you can pay any flowers, 2 of the same or 3 of any, and so forth and so on as you go down to different levels, and then you will get a number 2, 3, and 4. Now these cards down here are another way that you get points, but they slowly get revealed as people take the butterflies off of them. So things like if you have 1 butterfly in each one of these colors, get 4 points, and if you get like 1 of each flower here, you can get 4 points. So if you're right of Houston with butterflies, you'll get 1 point for that. So there are different ways you can get points. Now another way that you can get points is by getting your level 4 Miko, your level 4 butterfly, all the way back to the beginning of the map here. This you'll get a majority of points depending on how many of the level 4s that you can get. Now there is the 1 here, but this is counted as 2, and this means you can just move this this token here, and you have 2 butterflies on it. It gives you a little bit more power to get the level 4s down here, because there are strategies that you're going to have to not really bank into, and some strategies you're going to have to really lean into. So again, as you're going, if you land on a spot that has this token on it, if you're the first one, you get to roll this dice and get a special flower, and from there on you just land on it with other butterflies and get the cards if you want. Miko destroyed that for me, but that's really simply it. On the spring turn, you'll play 4 cards of movement. Summer card, you'll play 5, and in the fall card, you'll play 6, and you'll be ticking up your score all the way from here, and the person who has the most points wins. Not much player interaction other than like getting to this first, because this is the only thing that people will miss out if they aren't the first one, but you really can't take anything from people. So it's a game about focusing your strategy and executing your plan. Now let me tell you what I think about this game. And that is Mariposas. Now, what do I think of this one? Yes, it gets a 91 from me. This is another home run. Elizabeth really knows how to design a game, and this one is so very unique. Now, I've said that about other games, but I really can't put my finger on what makes this so different. I will say the one minor quibbles that I do have are the board does look a little busy, but it serves its purpose well, so it's a minor complaint for me. And the other one is there's not much player interaction. You can try to get the dice roll before other people, but that's the only thing that you can kind of steal or interact with the players, and I like a little bit more player interaction, but it may conflict with the theme, because these are beautiful butterflies just trying to travel. They're not trying to take each other out. But I don't know how you could add more player interaction without actually altering the game. And the game is just so different. Not only do I get to experience like this in a theater now, I get to experience it on a board, and it translates so very well, because there are different strategies that you can deploy. You're not going to be able to do every one of them. You're either going to try to take all these level 4 butterflies and get them back and try to bank on all those points, or you're really going to try to strategize on the cards as they come up. What do you want to do? Be more strategic and bring them back, or be more tactile as the cards flip over? I'm a more tactile gamer, and the variety of replayability in this game is a classic type of replayability. Over and over again, there's a whole bunch of stuff like the cards and the little tokens that allow you, when you get all 4 of the color cards, they give you different things. You can replay this a lot, and I don't think it gets boring because of all those different ways that you can win. You can try to perfect the ones that you like, or just do a taste of a little bit of both and see where that gets you. But all in all, this is the way that the pieces move and the cards that you play. There are different examples of games that I can kind of pinpoint that do the same thing, but the way that this package is put together, it just really impressed me, and it felt very intuitive, and it felt like I was guiding my butterflies to their destination in the best way that the points would allow me to do so. Sometimes it wasn't as advantageous for the couple first generations. Now, I do think it was a little bit harder to get those double 4 butterflies, at least for me, unless you're playing a lot of those cards and getting a lot of the flowers to get currency. But I mean, this is just a great game. It's fairly easy to learn. I do think it's a family weight game. Younger kids might need a little more help, but I think they will catch on. But this is really a great family weight game, and I think like advanced gamers would love this. Moms, dads, kiddos. This is, if you like butterflies, this is very thematic, and I think you're going to like it just for that. But if you like this kind, it's not so much, it's like a race game, but it's not really a race game. It's where you want to go, and you have a very short time, well, not short time, you got a limited amount of time to do that and make up your mind. So it's its own beast, its own butterfly. So if you think this is a great game just from this video, and if you've stayed tuned this long, you've made your decision, there is a link down below that you can click, and it'll take you straight over so you can pick this game up. Again, thank you AEG for helping me with this review and providing the review copy. I appreciate all your help there. And Vine Nation, please click like and subscribe. I appreciate that as well. Until next time that I see you, my name is Dave. Have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. Good job getting the Game Vine Must Play award. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.